it's like I don't think it's good for him to be looking through it. I mean, I don't have access to my partner's phone. He doesn't have access to mine. I don't feel there's anything wrong with that. I mean, like I don't have like a lock on my phone. It's like I never have done, and I just have it anywhere. I haven't got anything to hide. I have my phone anywhere, but I don't see why there's any reason for him to be using my phone. He has a phone.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. But yeah.
So who's gonna start?
Virtues.
No, not me. Why virtues? Cleo, you had a lot to say about this.
I think it's okay. I mean, I access my partner's phone. He accesses my phone. We've got nothing to hide. What I would say though is that if I found him sneakily accessing my phone, like while I was doing something else and I saw him tapping, I'd be like, what are you doing? So, you know, it's just obviously what their intention is, I think, would be the thing. You know?
But we mean sneakily. I mean, what, like, how?
No, I'm saying that...
Because if he's all right for him to access it, it shouldn't matter when he accesses it, should it?
Yeah, but then, you know, you see the body language, innit, that goes with it. I mean, if he just pick up the phone and he's just, like, looking like, oh, you know, I'm just looking for a picture or a photo or whatever in there, or
that's
I'm
fine
using
or not
your
fine?
internet. No, that's fine.
Oh, okay.
But I'm saying that, I don't know, if I came in and I saw him back turned... Yeah, you know, you kind of think...
so what about if you saw him, if you picked it up and then you saw him going through your messages?
Mm-mm.
Oh.
What's he going through the messages
Well,
for?
you said it's fine.
No,
so,
it is fine, but it depends on what he's doing. As in,
you
I would be like,
if there's this two-way, you can access, no, you can't access.
No, he can access. He can access. But I'm saying...
But it's just
it's
what
like,
he's allowed to access.
if he's looking at my messages, I'll be like, well, what's the reason? Yeah, what are you looking for?
Then it's not okay for him to access it.
Of course it is. It is
that
okay for him to access it.
So I don't understand it.
What I'm saying is, if I was going on his phone, what possible reasons would I be going on his phone? To use his internet, to look at some photos, you know, or to use an app maybe that he's got on the phone, or because my phone's not available, to make a call or something like that. But then if he came in and he saw me just flicking through his messages, he's got a right to be upset with me too. It's like, well, what are you looking for? What you got my phone? You got your own phone. If you're using mine, yeah. So I'm saying that if he or I were flicking through his messages, he's got a right to say to me, well, what are you looking for? Because I don't think, you know, it's not that it's private or he's got something necessarily to hide or I've got something to hide, but I'll be thinking, why are you looking through them? Are you looking for something? What, he just wants to know what you're talking about? It's like if you have a phone conversation.
But maybe, right, so maybe...
No, but I'm saying, imagine you've had a private phone conversation with your friend. Yeah?
Okay, yeah.
And
like a telephone conversation?
Yes.
Okay.
And it's recorded. You think it's okay for him to listen to them?
Why would it be recorded?
No, I'm just saying that
like
to compare it with a text.
But even if it was a text message conversation between you and your girlfriend or whoever, no, it's like I don't think it's good for him to be looking through it. I mean, I don't have access to my partner's phone. He doesn't have access to mine. I don't feel there's anything wrong with that. I mean, like I don't have like a lock on my phone. It's like I never have done, and I just have it anywhere. I haven't got anything to hide. I have my phone anywhere, but I don't see why there's any reason for him to be using my phone. He has a phone.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. But you know, there's times when I've used my partner's phone. It's like because he might have something on there that I haven't got on mine. Or
Fair enough.
It's like my battery's running low, so I think, let me make a call.
I don't see that there's
anything.
anything. I think it's a personal thing. I mean, I have no reason to access his phone or want to access it. But I do believe that, you know, if there was calls that I think is there something that I'd want to know. I mean, would you access your partner's phone if you felt that, like, reading through text messages, because that's the only reason why I think you should be reading through text messages. If you think that there's a reason behind it.
Well, No, I don't know. No, because I think to myself, like what Cleo was saying, like what she's saying is like you can access some, but not everything. I think that's what you're saying.
Well, I'm just
really.
saying that if you're accessing some things like text messages, then
What's
what
your
could
reason
you
for?
possibly be looking for?
I think the thing is, if you are open and honest with each other and you haven't got a problem with each other using the phone, then it should always be open.
However, sorry, but then you could use a scenario. Would you a diary? If you had a diary, would you want your partner to read your diary? You probably wouldn't.
No.
No. But then what I was going to say is, I mean, like if you, your partner said it's okay to access the phone, that means you should be accessing anything in front of him. So if there was something that you thought, okay, for instance, say there was someone that ex, say for instance, and you had phoned or texted him. If you wanted to know what was in that text, then you shouldn't go behind their back to
you should ask them.
access
So,
that text.
yeah.
You should say, okay, let me see what she said or whatever, and then
You
you
should be able to just answer him though.
So
it's how you go about that access, and if you both agreed that there's access, then that trust should be open. You know.
Yeah. I mean, but Paul has access to my phone, and he's got. I know his code. I think So But would he be reading my message? No, I don't think he would.
I think that in this day and age, it's like, you know, before we had mobile phones and things like that, if somebody kind of suspected that their partner was doing something, they would be like, you know, they would find different ways to verify what their suspicions are. Now, with phones, I think it's even more so. And with so much social media and ways that the outside world can contact people, I think that is definitely a source that people will use to kind of think, well, what's he doing? And it depends, I suppose, in some relationships, what sort of partner you have. You know, because if you've got a partner who's always out, or, you know, like the Sandman sort of partner. Sorry for the Sandman out there. But you know what I'm saying? Like the ones who are out a lot and meet a lot of women. It's like, just like how before you might be looking to see what woman's phone number is this. Now you're looking to see, well, what text message
you're not looking through their pockets for phone
right,
numbers anymore. It's the phone.
I mean, I have to admit, years back in a previous relationship, I have snooped in their mobile phone, but they gave me calls to, you know, and even though, you know, I was aware that they had cheated, and they were trying to kind of say, you know,
it wasn't so.
It's like it wasn't like that. They would leave me sometimes the phone switched off and say that they're just popping out or whatever for whatever reason. I can't remember why they would leave their phone switched off with me, but I would turn it on and just to check what sort of text messages are coming in, what calls are coming through, you know. And there were incidences where call came through, I answered the phone, and female said, you know, can I speak to whatever? And I said, he's not here at the moment, can I take a message? Oh, you know, I'm just phoning regarding that next week, the party that we were supposed to be going to. So I said, which party?
Oh, which party? That.
You know. Anyway, calmly took all the details, you know, and switched back off the phone. So when he came to collect the phone now, you know, I just said, oh, by the way, you know, such and such called and whatever. And they were quite annoyed, saying, why would I switch on the phone? But I said, so, but who is this? And what party are you supposed to be going to with her? And obviously it caused a whole argument. But it's a point that, why am I snooping? And that's when you think to yourself, why am I doing all of that stuff? I don't need to be doing all that stuff.
I don't think it's what you should do. But then I've heard some stories where, especially like, because back in the day, older phones, you couldn't lock them up. You know what I mean?
No.
So they were
switch them
off.
off.
Switch them off.
You know, I've heard people, you know, like how you could select certain numbers that don't come through.
How do you mean?
Like you could set on your phone like to block numbers. So you'd form a list of numbers,
you can...
and you could block them.
Oh, right.
So I know that people used to have said that men have like got the women's list,
Okay.
block it when they're with a certain woman.
Oh, okay.
So then they know that they're not going to get a phone call from her, you know. And so when obviously they leave, they unblock that one.
I see.
The access.
I hear about they do it on flight, because when some flight mode you don't get calls, right?
No.
Right,
anyway,
okay,
no,
yeah.
no.
So I've heard that people do that they...
But I do think like alarms should be ringing if, you know, your man is bringing his mobile phone even in the shower with him.
Of course. Of course. Yeah.
Red flag straight away. You know,
yeah.
you won't put the phone down. I mean, those are big signs that...
Why can't you take it? I'm like, why are you taking the phone in the bathroom?
No, but I do take my phone in the bathroom sometimes, but not because
like...
I'm hiding anything. But I've got a game that I like to play, so I play the game.
Oh,
yeah, but not in the shower though.
Oh no, not in the shower. No.
I don't know.
I mean the phone thing is a whole. I think it depends on the person, and it depends on your trust in each other, because.
Yeah.
My ex-partner, it was okay, we can access each other's phone, but then when you see them start getting a bit digi, when
you get a text or
then you're like, and I remember there was one incident when I had a message or a request from someone I don't even know on social media, and I was telling him about it, but he must have thought it's someone that I actually know. And I remember him saying, and he didn't admit it straight away, but it was only like a few days later, it was like, when you went in the shower, I went on your phone to see who this person was and blah, 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 blah. So I think when there is, what's the word? It's not even mistrust, but when you're feeling... Insecure, that's when you think, oh, shall I just check? You know? And I think it works both ways, men and women. So I think sometimes it's like a dangerous little...
It is. I think it's how it's used.
Yeah, it's a dangerous little thing. But what I would say is, like, I don't like to think about, oh, you're sneaking behind their back to go through their phone. But at the same time, if they give you a reason, that's like...
that's different.
That's different.
If they give you a reason, it will only be if they give me a reason.
And also, I think that it can be used as a form of control. You know, it's like, you know, that men who are quite possessive might think, well, why can't I look at your phone, or why can't I look through your messages? What have you got to hide? In that way. Yeah. But really, it's like she might not have anything to hide, but she might know that if her friend at work messaged her for something for work, but he sees that a man's in her phone book, or you know, it might cause a problem. So then she might be hiding stuff when it's quite innocent anyway. You know, so I think it is a matter of mutual trust.
It is.
Yeah,
it is.
Definitely is.
So it's fine for them to have access.
There's nothing wrong. I said it depends on the couple. I mean, I don't have access, and it's like I don't feel any way.
And look at that. You don't have access, yet we do.
Yeah.
And it's like it's neither or. But my thing would be that I think, and I'm sure I was telling you that I got an email once from a ex-colleague that I thought was inappropriate. But I made sure that I told Paul, because you know, for the simple reason that we have access. That
yes, of course. You know, things like that. Yeah.
That you make sure that
and that's the exact thing that we're trying to get at. That you know, if you're open with your partner,
that's right. You can discuss it.
Yeah, then there shouldn't be an issue. It's when you start seeing, you know, signs of them hiding or you know, being.
And I think that, you know, Angie is one to. If she gets a phone call at whatever time of night or a text message, she look at the time. I'm sure that if your partner's getting a text message at all hours, you're going to be thinking, well, who's that? And I think it's a fair question to ask.
It's usually us though, isn't it? We get messages all the time, so it's from one of us, I think. That's all right. It's from one of us, so that's good. That's good. Yeah, I spent the time thing,
Well, no, but I would. I mean,
Paul
just
gets
like a phone
messages
call.
late though. But then I don't think of it because he has like group chats.
Yeah. So no one can
the time with that, I don't really think if he gets a message at 1 in the morning.
Again, it depends on the circumstances because if you got family abroad or friends abroad, because sometimes I'll get a message. Like, look at our cousin Gavin; he'll message you, you know, because I was thinking of you, ding, and it's gone off like 3 o'clock in the morning or whatever. And you know, it's your cousin or it's a close friend. It could be, you know, I've got friends in Canada, Jamaica, and they message me all times of the day or night. So, you know, as I said, it's just about how how open you are and how they know your friends as well.
It's,
because if it's a group of people that you don't know and you see messages in the middle of the night,
time,
you're thinking,
true.
Who's that?
Who's
Who's
that?
that? Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I suppose the general consensus is that we don't mind.
Well, that's what I want. It's not really a concern because we've got two different views. That we are fine with it for
as long
whatever
as they're not snooping.
as long
Use
as
it for the right reasons. Well, that's what I think. As long as they
The
use
thing
it for
is,
the right
access
reasons.
and snooping are two different
Yeah,
things.
right. And
Yeah,
the question
yeah.
is access, but
Yeah.
Angie hasn't got
haven't
access.
got
They haven't got
access.
access.
Oh,
And he
right.
has got access to mine.
And he has got access, but
and he would never kind of. I mean, like if my phone was ringing, he would. You know,
would he not answer
like
it? Would it?
He would just say, "And your phone's ringing." He wouldn't.
Yeah.
He wouldn't answer
Even
it.
if he saw
The
I don't
number.
know, like
I think
a
you
male name come up.
I don't know if he would even look at it. He'd probably hear it and say, "And your phone's ringing." I don't even know if he would even go and look at it to say, "Oh, and your phone's ringing." He would just hear it and say, "And your phone's ringing," and I would say, "Okay, whatever," you know.
Yeah.
Vice versa. It's like if I've seen his phone ringing and I say, "B, your phone was just ringing." It's like I wouldn't answer it.
Yeah.
But if you saw a woman that was coming up all the time, a few times, you know, you see the same woman ringing him, and you know nothing of this woman. Never heard the name before.
And he's not saying to me, "Oh, you know," it's like
She's a cousin or
whatever.
whatever. Yeah.
I mean, if I saw a number coming up or a name coming up and he's never said to me about this woman, of course I say to him, you know what I mean? So who's this woman calling you all the time? I see your name flashing up on your phone.
And if you said, "Don't worry about it,"
I'll say, "How you mean don't worry about it?"
no, I'm saying like he was doing a little surprise for you. You know what I mean? It's like, just don't worry about it. You know.
No, that's not going to work, Vange.
Oh, I mean, he's quite he's quite kind of. I mean, I know he's very much in touch with and good friends with his ex's sister.
Okay.
And yeah, I mean, and she calls a lot. But I've got to know her.
But that's fine.
What-
That's
it doesn't
his
say-
sister. That's
Yeah,
fine.
Sister.
Yeah.
But even the ex, on the occasion that she will call, he will say, "Oh, such and such called today." He will just say to me, you know,
Transparency.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
you know, but
Yeah.
then keeping it still at like, it's not a regular thing. Not to say, you know, it's like he's more in touch with the sister rather than the ex. But even if the ex does call, he will say, "Oh, such and such called today. She wanted to know, blah blah blah." I said, "Okay, fine, no problem."
Jesus.
So we're saying that. Do all of us agree? I think we generally do agree. Although you were saying that Angie
Hasn't.
Yeah, considering that I haven't got access to my partner's phone and he hasn't got access to mine. However, I haven't got. It's like I don't feel any way kind of worried about not having access because I feel comfortable because he's open about anything that comes up and vice versa. I'm open about anything, so you know I'm happy. Just
So it works.
It works.
It works.
So it's not necessary.
you know,
it's not
it doesn't have to
necessary,
be,
and there's
you
a
know.
clear difference between access and snooping. And I
course.
think that's what we've determined. So I think providing that you've got the trust and communication and the transparency within the relationship, then access really shouldn't be an issue.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right.
Yeah.
I think it's right. Even though I said it's completely not disagree, but I can't really explain what I'm trying to say. But do you see what I'm saying? Like she doesn't do it, but yet we do it.
And
But-
both situations are okay.
But both are
Yeah.
fine.
Situations are cool.
Both are fine. Yeah, both are fine. I think.